Chapter 82. What? Kaija turned his head and stared at Zhang Yu Ozu with a calm expression. Although I don't know the reason, I'm not stupid, Zhang Yu Ozu said with a smile. If you were afraid that I would stop you, why did you keep me here? Kaija covered his wound, and his face gradually turned pale. Let me guess, you hoped that I would send a message to the other extreme way walkers, making everyone think that Kaija has given up, so you spared my life, right? Extreme way walkers. Lin Ken and Jiang Xihans looked at each other, completely not understanding what she meant. You are really smart. Zhang Yu Ozu nodded. But you miscalculated one thing. That is, I don't care at all whether you will collect 3,600 ways, and I won't stop you either. TXIA's face was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect that all his thoughts had been seen through by the other party. Although we are all extreme way walkers, each of us has different pursuit. Zhang Yu Ozu took a rubber band from her wrist, tied her loose hair into a bun. Some people are keen on disrupting the game. Some like to destroy the ways, and some swagger around on the street, pretending to be native. I'm different. What makes you different? Kaija asked. I like to experience different games and watch people intrigue against each other. Zhang Yu Ozu answered without hesitation. Although the extreme way walkers are a group of lunatics, swindlers, each of them is placed with their own strength, and my way of guarding this place is to incite those good people to participate in the game. So, you are a shell? Kaija asked pointedly. Shell? Zhang Yu Ozu thought for a while and nodded. According to what you said, I am indeed a shell, except that no one pays me. Kaija was speechless for a moment. He could only keep thinking about one question in his mind. What on earth is the extreme way? So, what about you? Zhang Yu Ozu asked. Are you really going to give up? What do you think? Kaija moved his hand covering the wound and then showed Zhang Yu Ozu the blood on his fingers. Can you heal me? I really can't do that. Zhang Yu Ozu shook her head. I can't figure out the logical relationship to heal you. Otherwise, I would definitely save you. You just saved my life. Seeing that Kaija and the other two were still looking at her with vigilance, Zhang Yu Ozu didn't bother herself anymore. She stretched herself, revealing her sexy curves, and then asked, Are you going to kill me? If not, I'll leave. The three of them were not extremely evil people, so naturally they had no reason to kill Zhang Yu Ozu. On second thought, they didn't even have a reason to keep her here. I'm leaving, Zhang Yu Ozu confirmed again. Seeing that everyone still had no reaction, she shook her head helplessly, causing a bell to ring in the distance. Hearing the soul-stirring sound, Kaija finally couldn't help but ask, What does the bell ringing mean exactly? Zhang Yu Ozu turned around and thought for a while before saying, Since you saved my life, I can make an exception to answer this question for you. But you also have to answer a question for me, okay? Kaija nodded. Seeing that Kaija agreed, Zhang Yu Ozu then said, Currently, it is known that there are only two situations that will cause the bell to ring. The first is hearing the echo. Is the echo disappearing? What is an echo? Kaija asked again. That's the second question. Zhang Yu Ozu shook her head. Are we on such good terms? Kaija covered his wound, and his face gradually darkened. Zhang Yu Ozu seemed to feel a bit sorry for him. So she said, Kaija, this time I'll make an exception to answer one more question for you. It's a very abstract thing. Some people can never understand it in their lifetime, and even if some people understand it, they can't exert the power of the echo. Today I was very lucky and succeeded into echoes in a row, which is also the reason why you are all still alive. Zhang seemed to have thought of something. Sure enough, the person I killed with the glass was the one you meddled with. If your understanding still stays at meddling, I'm afraid you'll never understand the echo in your lifetime. Zhang Yu Ozu turned around to leave. After taking 3 steps, she suddenly thought of something and stopped to say, Kaija, don't suppress your own sadness. People will hear the echo only when they are in extreme emotions. With that, Zhang Haiyuozu pushed open the door of the inn and walked onto the street. Hey, didn't you have a question to ask me? Ti Xiao shouted from afar. And behold, Zhang Haiyuozu didn't turn around, just waved her hand. Her words left everyone confused, but Ti Xiao felt that he had grasped some clues. According to Xia's understanding, the echo seemed to be some kind of superpower. This superpower would randomly appear on some people. At this time, the huge bell would ring, and the screen would prompt I heard the echo. In other words, every time the bell rang before, it meant that someone had obtained this superpower called echo. And when the bell rang for the second time, it meant that the user had hidden the superpower. The user had died. Officer Li is an echoer. Tijou murmured. Officer Li? Lin Kai and Zhang Xihans both looked at Kaizhou. Before Officer Li died, the first bell rang. After he died, the second bell rang. Tijou tried to combine Officer Li's strange actions at that time with the superpower. This means that he obtained this ability before he died. But his performance was very strange. Kozhao took out the old metal lighter from his pocket and said to Lin Tin and Zhang Xihans. He was like a magician at that time. He took out cigarettes from an empty cigarette box and a lighter from an empty pocket. What? Looked at Kaizhou in confusion. Can you bring these two things to him? No. Tijou shook his head. At that time, I was afraid that you would focus too much on these issues. So I hid it and didn't say anything. But now that I think about it, he did obtain this superpower briefly. Lin Tin stretched out her hand to gesture. This superpower called Tico can make people conjure things out of thin air? No. Kaizhou shook his head again. If we carefully understand Zhang Haiyuozu's words and combine all the things that have happened before, we might as well make a bold assumption. This thing called Tico is divided into many categories, and the abilities obtained by each person are also different. Currently, the known ones are inviting disasters, shifting blame, and Officer Li's fetching things from a distance. Zhang Xihans also nodded and interjected at this time. Zhang Haiyuozu's ability is also quite different from Officer Li's. She seems to be able to control the logical relationship of a thing.